Thanks for your guys' patience. Just had to get set up for today, but I hope you all had a great weekend, and thanks for coming on to our advanced session where we go into more specific topics about the iPad that's not covered in the iPad modules, and or just some fun. We always love to have fun utilizing our iPad to play games, learn, inform, all that good stuff. So thank you all for getting on today. Today we'll be covering how to update your iPad software to iPadOS 17.1. So this update just came out for your iPad. So we always like to do this session about once a month because that's around when the new update comes out. So that way you guys can be updated. So this is your first time joining this particular session. I hope you enjoy. If not, then you may learn something new. And please, this is the time to ask questions, and we'll go over how to ask questions in just a second. But again, thank you all for getting on to today. I'm going to go ahead and read our disclaimer. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications, and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners, presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. As you know, in Zoom, we just want to be able to utilize the raise hand feature if you ever have a question in Zoom. If I raise my hand like physically like this, and even though we only have 30 folks on today, that's still 30 folks. It's much easier to raise your hand in Zoom just by tapping on more at the top right, and then finding raise hand and then tapping on that. So in Zoom, I would love everyone to raise their hand, just so that I know that you're here, that you're present, that you're listening, that you know how to ask questions if you need to, so you can feel confident and independent to, being able to answer questions. So please raise your hand in Zoom. You can send an emoji too, I see, but mostly raise hands. You can definitely use those emojis like to congratulate or signify something that's interesting. Yeah, so I'd love everyone to raise their hands in Zoom. Just to mention, I see we do have an iPhone on the call. Please rename yourself in Zoom for us, please. Shown as iPhone. But thank you all for raising your hand. You have over 17 hands up, and I really appreciate all of you guys that raised your hands. I would love for all to lower your hand by hitting lower at the bottom. So that's how you lower your hand. To the individual with the iPhone, please follow the instructions I sent you to your direct message so you can rename yourself, okay? Yes. So again, that iPhone user, please rename yourself. Thank you. Also, we want to be able to use the chat, just like Anne did. If you want to communicate with others non-verbally, the chat is a great way to share a greeting, ask a question, congratulate, or encourage others. You tap on more at the top right, and this time you tap on chat. When you tap on chat, this window will pop up with the chat window. At the bottom, it will say tap here to chat. The keyboard will pop up, you type in your message, and you send it using this blue button here on the bottom right-hand side. So again, if I go to Zoom really quick, and then I tap on more, tap on more, and then chat, you see now the meeting chat is open. I tap on where it says tap here to chat, type in my message, and then send it using the blue button. So it's very simple. I would love everyone in Zoom to please send a chat. Again, not just for our Zooms, but just any Zoom you join. It's always nice to say hello. And you never know whose day you'll make just by saying that. So yes, I see Mr. Philip, Brenda, Ms. Bertha, thank you for sending in chat. It's something as simple as a hello or a good morning or I hope you had a good weekend or a prayer or information. Anything you can put in that chat, you'd be able to utilize. So just take a minute to send a chat. Really appreciate it. just sending a message out. So please send your chats out as well. Yeah. Thank you, Gracie and Miss Lorraine. Appreciate it. So yes, if you guys have a question or something, just anything you want to put in the chat, just make sure you guys utilize that, especially for those questions. I may be able to answer it during um, during the session, and if we're talking about it, we'll be able to answer that question right then and there. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. Today we'll be talking about iPadOS 17.1, but of course, 17 just came out last month. It gives you powerful new ways to do more than ever, new levels of personalization, beautiful and custom lock screens, and or additional features, new apps, and more. So anytime a new upgrade comes out, again, every year, it has a lot of new features available. So want to make sure you utilize those features to make your iPad experience, the best it could be. But first, what is, an operating system? So again, iPad OS 17, so iPad operating system, right? An operating system is the most important software that runs on a computer. So it's because it's not an actual piece or physical component of the device, it's software. Anything hardware related relates to hard physical objects, so like a modem or like a monitor. So yes, this operating system manages the computer's memory and processes, basically the storage and the different things that it takes to run each application. It manages the software and hardware and allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. Because as we know, the computer isn't built on, isn't built on like words and such. The most basic is like, binary, like zeros and ones, right? So through this operating system, we can communicate with the device through natural or natural processes, or us knowing to do based on what it says. So without this system, the computer is useless because we wouldn't even be able to utilize it. So it's really important that you keep your system updated and safe. Again, the operating system's job is to manage all of the software and hardware on the computer. Most of the time, there are several different computer programs running at the same time. They all need access to your computer's central processing unit or CPU, memory, and storage. This system coordinates all of this to make sure each program gets what it needs. So yeah, you guys, I'm on Zoom right now, but I'm using my microphone, the speaker, this app, the Zoom app, all of the location stuff. So even the stuff that you're not actually doing on the iPad, there are still processes that are occurring behind the scenes. So because of the operating system, you don't have to worry about any of that because it handles it. So I think that's a great feature and easy access to using technology. This keeping your operating system updated is important because when you if you have ever used like a regular desktop or a computer before, at the bottom right, there's always like some reminders or notifications that pop up saying that you need to update your computer. And sometimes it seems like it happens right there when you're in the middle of something really important. But even if it is, you should still follow them and keep your computer up to date. Because with each new update or upgrade, new security patches come out, which cover security holes and basically makes the network stronger because nothing is 100% foolproof, right? But we can do our best to minimize those as well by doing these updates, and Apple does a pretty good job on that. In addition to security fixes, these updates can include new improved features, as well as improved compatibility with various devices or applications, so new apps, new features, new customizations. Improved, as it says, compatibility with other devices. So with each new update, your iPad is, I guess, more universal in a way because there are just more features being added. So really glad that they do that once every month for updates and once every year for upgrades. Again, these patches, these updates or patches are not designed to ruin our lives. In fact, they're designed to make our computers safer and keep hackers from exploiting vulnerable spots. So with each new update, new security features come out and just makes your iPad even more secure than it is. But even when when the iPad first came out, it was pretty much a really, really, really secure device. So it's just all about using common sense and seeing what is on your screen to be able to figure out what you need to do next. These updates can fix the code that allows hackers to install damaging malware on our computers or delete important files. The things that you've been so busy working on that you think you don't have time to update your software, those are at risk if you decide to ignore that reminder. So again, anytime your iPad says, hey, it's ready for an update, make sure you complete that update, okay? How long does it take? It's really simple. It only takes a click of a button, and sometimes it may be done automatically to download, which I think is pretty convenient. It's different than installing. You may still have to tap on a button to install the update, but the downloading usually takes longer than that. So if you have it set it up, it will automatically download, but it still will have to install based on your consent through the prompts. The upgrades, it takes about 20 to 45 minutes for an upgrade. So every year. So when I got 17 this past month, it took about 20 minutes or so. Any updates? So basically any monthly or bi-monthly updates. So when 17.2, then 3, then 4 comes out in the next months, those should take about 10 to 20 minutes or so. Just depends on how big the file is. You may also see something called a rapid security response. These are new types of software releases for Apple devices. They deliver important security improvements between software updates. So again, improvements to different browsers, basically a lot of security updates. These are delivered, they just started with 16.4, so about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that. So if you ever see, right now we're on 17.1, right? But if you ever see where it says iPadOS 17.1 and then A or a letter in parentheses, that usually means there's a rapid security response either available to download or already downloaded on your device. So if you ever see anything called rapid security responses, you already know what it is. Just make sure you have those downloaded as well. Well, so even we're talking about an update, right? So when we update our device, when you do anything in life, pretty much it's always good to have a backup plan, right? So I've never ever experienced an issue with updating my iPad and it for anything wrong to happen. No, nothing has happened. I know I heard about it like years ago, when the iPhone was still and iPad are relatively new, but nowadays it's pretty good. But even besides that, it's always good just to have a backup. And in this case, it's a literal backup, an iCloud backup. You'll with this backup, basically you have a copy of your information to use in case your device is ever replaced, lost, or damaged. So one of my friends had to replace her device this week, and she was able to retain most, if not all, of her information just by having this backup available. So it's really important that you do because you never know what may happen to your device at any day. Just like with anything in life, a new day can bring new challenges. So it's important to be as prepared as possible, right? So in iCloud, backup includes pretty much all the data and settings that are stored on your device. It doesn't store like the actual physical apps, right? It just stores their apps data. So anything in iCloud like contacts, calendars, notes, iCloud messages, iMessages, photos, voice memos, text, health data. So any data that you have in those apps that will be stored. Anything like Gmail or Exchange Mail, like other data that's stored. So for example, if you have the Mail app and you have the Gmail app or account in your Mail app, it will save it when you get your new device. You may have to re-enter your password, but it will still, have it under your Mail, which I think is pretty good. Speaking of that, it has the mail data, any Apple Pay information and settings, and or biometrics. So yeah, it's really important that you keep this stuff, because if you ever have to replace your device, at least you're starting from somewhere and not from nothing, right? So it's really important that you complete a backup. Again, with all the possibilities of what could go wrong, not saying anything will go wrong, but what could, you never know. Creating a backup should be the first thing on your to-do list when planning to upgrade your operating system. And again, it's very, very simple. So what you do is go to settings, and then you tap on iCloud. So again, very simple. I'm going to tap on settings on the iPad, and on the left-hand side, it will, on the right-hand side, you're always going to get general, because that's the main one that folks use. So when you open the settings app, you should see general here on the right-hand side. Scratch that. That's for a software update. But on the left-hand side, you're going to tap on your name. Sorry about that. And then you're going to tap on iCloud, because we're doing an iCloud backup, right? So sorry about that. You tap on settings, and then you tap on your name. When you tap on your name, you tap on iCloud on the right-hand side. Okay, so settings, name, iCloud. I'll put that in the chat too, just to make sure we have all the instructions down. Settings, name, iCloud. Okay, so that's kind of step one, right? Settings, name, iCloud. You all should see that in the chat too. When you tap on iCloud, the next thing you need to find is iCloud backup, because we know we want to initiate a backup, right? So I'm just scrolling here and finding iCloud backup. That's the next step. And then as you can see here, it says iCloud backup automatically back up your iPad, so you can restore your data if you lose your device or get a new one. Make sure backup this iPad is turned on, and you'll see where it says backup now. And all you do is tap on it. And that's how you initiate a backup. Very, very simple. So even while it does that, I can do other things, like go back to my presentation. Yeah, you tap on backup now. Okay. And you'll see where it says, estimating time remaining. It usually takes like 1 to 2 minutes. It's very, very fast. But you see the progress and how long it'll take. And once you do that, you'll see the date and the time of your last backup. So if I go back here, you see it says about 1 minute remaining. I am on Zoom. So it may take a little longer, because that data is being used, but it's very fast. But here are the steps again. Sorry about that, you guys. You tap on settings, you then tap on name, and then you tap on iCloud. Okay. Had to go back to my session. Then you tap on iCloud backup, and then you hit backup now. When you hit backup now, you notice it says last successful backup. So whatever day that you did your backup, it will tell you the date and the time of that. So make sure you do at least once a month. I would write that down. About once a month, I would physically or check my backup, right? So once a month, check iCloud backup, okay? Again, the steps, make sure you're connected to your internet. You go to settings, you tap on your name, and then you tap iCloud. You tap iCloud backup, and then you tap backup now. And underneath that, you'll see the date and time of your last backup. So if I go back to settings, you see, great, I just finished mine. You see it took no time at all, and it says last successful backup. It was 10:27 this morning. Tomorrow, it will say yesterday at 10:27. The next day, it'll say the date. Yeah. So very, very simple. Again, this backup allows you to copy and save the information from your device, basically. If you replace your device, you can use a backup to transfer your information to a new one. So if you look at the screenshot here, so let's say I lost my iPad today. Let me not jinx myself though, but if I needed to get my new iPad, once I got that new iPad, I can then hit this option. When you turn your new device on, you'll see apps and data. Make sure you tap restore from iCloud backup, okay? And then same thing on the phone. So no matter what device, Apple device you use, you'll have that option. But make sure you hit restore from iCloud backup, and then you type in your Apple ID information. So make sure you guys know your Apple ID information by heart, okay? You got to know your password and you got to know your Apple ID. If you don't know that information, you won't be able to, well, on your regular iPad, you won't be able to download apps or adjust certain settings, things of that nature. But in this case, you won't even be able to get any of your data back if you don't have your Apple ID. So it's really important that you know your information, and that you now, if you need to, you'll have the option to restore from the backup if you need to get a new device. Okay. But so we did the backup first, right? So great, we did that first. Now we're going to learn how to actually download this update. So I know it says iPadOS 17, but it should be 17.1. Okay. You go to settings. We'll make sure, you guys are all connected to the internet, so that's fine. And make sure you go to settings, and then on the left-hand side, you're going to go to general. Okay, just like before. So I'm back on track. When you tap on general on the right-hand side, it will say software update. So again, make sure you tap on software update so you can see how updated your device is. So again, you go to settings, then I'm typing this out, you go to general, and then you hit software update. Okay, so again, I just put that in the chat as well. So when I hit software update, you'll see it depends on, everyone's going to be a little different. It just depends on what version you're on, if you've done your upgrade yet to 17, if not. So this screen may look a little different, but yes, essentially you'll see if it says up to date, then it will say iPadOS whatever is up to date. As you can see, I haven't done 17.1 yet. I usually do it before I do the session, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like on my end. So whenever a new update comes out, it'll let you know what's going on. So new ability for AirDrop transfers, enhancements to Apple Music, other features, bug fixes, and security updates. So it's really important that you keep your device updated. I think that's relatively new. Normally, it would look around this, but I think with the new upgrade, that screen actually changed a little bit. But you'll see some type of blue button where it'd say download, install, or install now, or download, or oh yeah. So once you get to this part, it'll let you know if you need to do anything, or it will let you know that you have done your updates. And sometimes again, you see automatic updates is turned on. Again, this changes well from the last operating system from 16. So this changed a little, but look, it says automatically install iPadOS updates and security responses. So it's that's something new in 17. So it can automatically download and automatically install. So it says automatically install these updates when this iPad is connected to Wi-Fi, charging, and locked. Yes, because if your iPad's low on battery and for whatever reason it turns off in the middle of that update, that would spell some trouble. So that's why you have to be connected to Wi-Fi, charging, and your iPad is not being in use for it to automatically install. So most likely overnight. So it's very simple, but it's really easy just to check to see if you need to do it. Nothing wrong with physically having to hit like update now, or it says update tonight, but yeah, really, really simple. Once you hit update now, you follow the prompts. I could do that now and see. I don't want to get in that process and not be able to share, but if I hit update now, you see I have to enter in my passcode, but it just depends on again, what you have set up on your iPad. Most likely you just have to make sure you hit OK and agree to the terms and conditions, and make sure you hit allow using cellular data. So that way, if you are updating or installing and you leave out your home, it will be fine when it installs and such. Okay. Yeah, so make sure you follow any prompts on the screen that you see, like these terms and conditions and such. And just make sure you wait for it to download. Once it downloads, you get a prompt on your screen or on your iPad saying, hey, do you want to install it now or later? So make sure you hit install now so that way you can get your device updated, okay? So today we went over how to back up your device. Again, I'm going to show you guys again. You go to settings. On the left-hand side, you tap on your name. On the right-hand side, you tap on, you tap on iCloud. Okay? And then you go down to iCloud backup, and then you'll see where it says backup now. You tap on that, and you should be good to go. If you are only using cellular data, you may not be able to complete it over when you're in Zoom because you're technically in a call per se. But I was in there and I was able to complete it, but I'm on my Wi-Fi. So it just depends. But either way, make sure you complete a backup at least once a month. I would say once every 2 weeks, but it just depends on how much you use your iPad, right? In order to, once you do your backup, so you do your backup first, okay? iCloud backup, then we do our update. So I tap on general, then software update, and then it lets me know what I need to do. So if it says update now or download install or download or whatever, that means you still need to complete it. But if it says up to date, like iPad, if once I do this, it'll say iPadOS 17.1, iPadOS is up to date. Once I see that, good. I don't, that my device is updated and I can just wait until the next one to do the same process. So settings, general, software update, and that way you'll be able to see what your progress is on that. Okay. One last tidbit before I start answering questions for the next 30 minutes or so is talking about iCloud Plus. So I did receive a direct message about storage. So if you ever get a message on your iPad saying that your iPad storage is running low, I'll do a session on this specifically, but you go to General and then iPad storage. We also talk about this in Module 1, which we'll be covering today at 1:30. When you hit iPad storage, you'll see how much storage you have on your device and how much is free. As you can see, if I go to the bottom, the newest update for iPad OS is about 10 gigabytes of data altogether. When I go back to general and software update, you see this new update is only an additional gigabyte. But for any upgrades, they may be like 2 or 3 and such. So if you ever see that your storage is running low, it may say, hey, you might want to utilize iCloud Plus. So that way you can store some of that data, especially if you have a lot of photos and videos and messages, you can offload some of those to the server so that way you can free up space on your actual device. Especially if you joined in 2021. I know you guys have a 7th gen iPad with only 32 gigs of storage. So it's really, really important that you utilize this to be able to still, utilize the latest version because it is quite a bit of storage for that device. So make sure that you guys look at what I'm doing. Someone just asked a question in the chat. It's okay if you forget to back up before the update. Again, 99.9999% of the time, oh, you're good to go. Like, it's just good to be safe than sorry, right? So you do not lose anything on your device. If you back up now, you'll have whatever things you have on your device. So it's no worry if you forgot to back up. It is just recommended, okay? You tap on your name, and then you'll again see iCloud, right? And this time, instead of hitting iCloud backup, we're looking at this part. It says iCloud Plus. It'll let you know what apps are using iCloud Plus. So make sure those are all on, photos. I don't have many photos, but if this was my personal iPad, I would definitely have that on. Same thing with messages. But health, I think health is really important. So make sure that whatever you want to keep in your iCloud, like the data. So like for me, I want to keep my music and my pages and my presentations and anything I have in freeform or my bookmarks in Safari or any reminders that I have or any iCloud mail, things of that nature. So it's really important that these options are on and that you utilize it. You see it says manage account storage. and it'll tell you how much storage each of those things are using. So as you can see from my phone and my messages, I have a lot of photos on my devices. So that way I can store them in iPad and not store them, on my device. You'll see it says store. It might say add storage plan. I have one myself that I pay, as you saw, about $2.99 a month. So I would start off with like the downgrade options. Let me show you guys. I would start off with the dollar a month plan. Now, let me go to it really quick. Oops, sorry about that. Sometimes you have to put in your Apple ID password, no matter what you want to do or not. It's really important that you guys put in here. And I can admit it's been a while for myself too, that I've had to actually put in my Apple ID password. So, but you'll see a dollar a month for that. For the 50 gigabytes, but for 200 gigabytes, it's about $2.99 a month. So I would, it's a flat fee. So I had used up 50 gigs, right? And after those 50, I had to upgrade so that way I can keep storing everything on iCloud. So I have that now I have 200 from that and then I have 50 from a plan I have. So you'll see 200 gigs. I have 250 because I have an additional subscription with Apple. But essentially, yeah, $2.99 a month, around $3.29 a month is 200 gigs. It's about $1 a month or $1.29 with tax for 50 gigs. So I would say 50 gigs is fine. It took me very long, just until recently, until I had to upgrade my iCloud Plus storage. But yeah, again, the iCloud Plus storage includes backups, photos, messages, all the stuff right here that I would be sad if I lost, especially in my messages on my phone. So if you ever see a message saying you need to upgrade your iCloud Plus or you need to adjust your storage, this is definitely an option you guys are available to use. But yes, today we went over backups, how to back up your device, go into iCloud, then you tap iCloud backup, and you can see that information. You can upgrade or update your device by hitting General, then Software Update. On the right-hand side, you'll see what you need to do. And then you can look at your storage and iCloud storage by hitting General, then iPad storage and seeing if everything is good there. And you can check out your iCloud Plus storage by tapping on your name, iCloud, and you'll see where it says iCloud Plus. If you have, everyone gets 5 gigabytes free, but that goes pretty quickly, especially if you have a lot of photos and videos. But so that way you at least have the knowledge and you'll be able to, add that storage if you need to. So that way you can keep things nice and running. So those are the main things that we went over today. Okay, so right now I'll be answering questions. Again, also reading this chat as well. To see this question too, but yes, please raise your hand. I'll address this question in the chat first though. Hey, I recently paid for a $10 plan about a month ago, dropped that plan and signed up for the $3 plan. Yes, the $10 plan, that's terabytes. Pretty much, yeah, unless you're in that field and really have a lot of storage to store, I would not do the $9.99. If they're still taking out that $9.99, it may be a month thing where it did the last month. I'm not sure how recent that $9.99 is, Teresa, but what I would do is tap on my name on the left-hand side, right, in settings, and then you'll see an option where it says subscriptions. Okay, so under subscriptions, if when you go into there, you'll see if you're still on both, because I think technically you can have more than one plan at the same time. I've never downgraded before. I just upgraded. So I would check that out and see if you can get rid of that, or if it just says the $2.99, then I would wait until next month to see what happens. But I hope that helps out. And of course, if you call our help desk, you can get, that specific help. You know what I'm saying? So but that's a really good question to who asked that. So thank you. Let me look at the chat. I did get a chat earlier today. Let me see. Yep. Again, I saw we had the iPhone hand up. I hope that answered your question, but just make sure you rename yourself, okay? You tap on participants, iPhone 3 me, then you tap on rename. Okay, so make sure you guys put your name in Zoom. First question I see is Ms. Thompson.
Okay.
How are you today?
Good morning. All right, how are you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I must be old school. When you back it up, I know in old school we put it on a disk or a flash drive. You don't have to do that no more.
No, it's
And
through
where does it
iCloud.
go?
It's through iCloud, Miss Thompson. So iCloud backup. iCloud is the cloud, it's the internet server. So yes, with computers and stuff back in the day, you would have to store it on a hard drive or like a USB or something. But with technology nowadays, you can store most of it, if not all, on the cloud. So with iCloud, when you back up your device, it's stored in their servers. So that way, you don't have to have any external device. You can just back it up with the method that you see on the screen.
So if you want it, you want something that you backed up and you need it, for whatever reason, you need it on paper. How do you get that?
Ms. Thompson, a backup is not taking anything away from your iPad. It's just saving a copy of your information. So whatever you have on your iPad, and doing a backup doesn't remove or add anything. It just saves that information to the server in case you ever need it. Again, if you lose your device, then when you get your new device, you'll have that data so that way you don't start from scratch on your new device. So it's just a backup. It's a copy of your saved information, basically.
As a backup of your saved information.
So you're backing up your data. When you update, you're updating the operating system. So you do a backup before, just in case something goes wrong, but nothing should go wrong with the update, but it's always good to be safe and sorry. And you never know when you may lose your device or need to replace it. So that way, again, you don't have to start from scratch. You'll start from something or the majority, okay?
So it's just out there. It's just backed up.
It's not out there. It's in their server, Miss Brenda. So that's how I can explain it. But it's just saved through the cloud. Every company has their own servers and stuff. So again, it's saved on their server. So that way, if you ever need it, if you lose, replace, or need to, change your device out, then you'll be able to have that backup available. Okay.
Okay, I'm still a little lost, but maybe come to me.
Yes, again, we do this every month. So again, just make sure you complete the backup and complete your updates. And that way, when we do this again, maybe things will click a little more. But I would just Google iCloud backup, Miss Brenda, and see what it says. Hopefully that'll help.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming on. Have a good day.
Okay.
Don't forget, we still have a lunch club with Ronald today at 12 and module 1 at 1:30. So make sure you guys hop on for that. Next is the other Brenda. Hey, Brenda, how are you?
Okay, I'm good, Alex. I'm good.
Good.
Now, Alex, I purchased the 50 gigs because
Yes.
I have a lot of photos and I do a lot of videos, and I'm paying like $1.05 a month. So it seems as though this is going on forever.
Yes, I mean, just like if you don't pay for Netflix, if you pay for Netflix and you only watch a movie, you're still paying that $1, right? So
yeah,
it's the same idea. I mean, utilize it as much as you can, but it's good to have it and have that plan. And again, it's a subscription. It's like, It will, as long as you use your iPad, it will last forever. Because if you don't pay for it, then you won't be able to back up anything else
True.
through after that. Because since you have it, you most likely have already reached that limit from the what's free.
Yeah, it was pretty
So
close.
yeah. So utilize that that 50, and then if you ever need more, then you'll be able to upgrade to that 200, and then that will be like the most. Again, I don't even have like any that $10 plan or whatever, because
Right.
that's a lot. That's if you're running your own little mini company and you need that type of stuff. But other than that,
Okay.
yes, the dollar
Well,
a month
yeah, dollar
is what I
five,
started with.
all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I had to do the $3 because I had more than 50, as you saw. I'm using about 64, so that's less than half of 200, right? But hey, I needed it, so
Okay. Well, let
yeah.
me ask you, if I decide to put all my photos in the iCloud, can I get rid of the, stop the subscription? How does that
Well,
work?
I wouldn't really recommend that, because it's more than just photos. It's like your photos, your videos, any of your app data and stuff. So, photos and videos and like backups, they, as you saw, they do contain the most amount of storage needed and such. But there are
Okay.
also other things that utilize, like again, your passwords, your biometrics, your mail data, anything regarding that, that's also being saved here as well. So
Right.
it's and I personally,
Okay.
I would never get rid of mine, because if I did, if I needed something and the next day I lose my device, then that's pretty much lost, right?
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yes.
it would be lost if I put it in the iCloud backup, in the
No, no,
iCloud
no,
storage.
no.
iCloud storage.
If you stop paying for it, I'm saying if you take a picture afterwards or something, it wouldn't, if you didn't have that subscription anymore, it wouldn't be able to upload back to iCloud. So, yes. So it's always better to be safe than sorry. But just I would just utilize what I had, and
Okay.
they could charge a lot more. You know what I'm saying?
So
I don't
so
know
I'll
how
be
particular
paying
the pricing works. So yeah, about it.
I'll be paying this $5 for the rest of my days, huh?
Yes. Oh, me too. Then every month that $2.99, $3 and such comes out. I'm like, hey, that's just you know, a little bit of the price of being able to store it. But it's you're only using this device. If you could, if I wanted to, I could use iTunes or whatever and connect my iPad to my
Yeah.
computer and stuff. But that requires devices, that requires the knowledge of the iPad and the computer and downloading and doing all that. So this backup, hey, I don't mind paying $1 a month or $3 a month
Okay.
just to make it easier for myself.
So I'm getting one flat amount. I'm just getting the 50
Yes.
gigabytes, but I'm still paying that $5. So and I
Yes.
pay that forever. I'll be done paid over 100.
Well, I mean, $1 a month, that's about $12 a year. So
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
again, yeah, no, please think of. I mean, that's how I think of it. I mean, if you
Okay.
it's I like the month thing. I mean, sometimes it is a little easier than
Okay.
such. So it's I would say keep it,
Yeah.
and just keep checking it out to see to make sure that everything is on and everything that went over today. Okay.
Okay, I'll hold on to it. Thanks,
Yes,
Alex.
no problem. Next up is Miss Barbara. Go ahead and unmute Barbara. Miss Barbara.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Can I back
Good.
up my iPhone to the same way I do
Same
my
exact way.
iPad?
Same exact way. Go to your name, you tap on iCloud, you hit iCloud backup, and it's the exact same thing, Miss Barbara. So
And where I start at?
did you write the instructions that I put in the chat and went over?
No, I just came in the middle. I missed some part of it.
Okay, just make sure you try to come on so that way you can get that information. Okay.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's very, so I'll put it up here. We have the steps right here on the screen. But it's the same thing on your iPad and your iPhone. So it's really easy. Then you go to settings, you tap on your name, you tap on iCloud, Then you tap iCloud Backup, and then you'll tap Backup Now, and that's how you complete it. So again, I go to my settings on my device, I tap on my name on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you hit iCloud. Below that, you'll see iCloud Backup, and you'll get to this screen where you can hit Backup Now. So again, you see I have my backup done on my iPhone and my iPad because I'm assigned into the same Apple ID. So you'll see all of your backups here, and you'll be able to back up your device. Okay.
Oh, okay. But they ask you upgrade for $9.99 for 99 cents a month.
Yes, that's iCloud Plus. So if everyone gets 5 gigabytes free of iCloud. So after those 5 gigs, if it tells you that option, or if it's saying that it recommends it to you to do that, I would, do that. So that way, again, any photos and videos and backups and any app data I have can be stored in iCloud. So that way, if you lose your device, you'll be able to have that backup available. So that way you can start from something rather than nothing. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Yes. Once you do your backup, then make sure you do your software update and just check to see what you need to do on that. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, Ms. Barbara. Any other questions regarding updates, backups, storage, iCloud Plus? Please raise your hand. It's a fairly simple lesson today, but it's just really important that you guys keep your iPads backed up, updated, and you check out your iCloud to see if you need to upgrade that storage. Any other questions? Talk more and then raise hand, you all. You can also unmute as well. Miss Brenda Thompson.
Okay, I might be going off the subject, but I don't think I am. When you record something, I've noticed on this iPad, you can record, but you can't put it anywhere. It's just a recording.
Yeah. Are you seeing that in Zoom right now, Miss Brenda?
Huh?
Are you seeing that in Zoom right now? Are you in the Zoom app?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means because our sessions are recorded, Miss Brenda, so that way folks can view them at a later time on our channel if they want. So through Zoom, yes, there's the recording feature available. There is a similar feature available just on the regular iPad of recording your screen, but that's something a little different than this recording.
But I mean, if I record something on this iPad other than this meeting, you can't take it off of here and recording off of here, can you?
Well, when you say off, I mean, if you want to send it, it just depends on how or store it in a server like Google Photos or Google Drive or something. Yes, I mean, there are ways to do that, Miss Brenda, and to move this recording around. But yes, if you wanted to record anything on your screen, there is an option to do that on your iPad. But this recording that you see in Zoom it's Zoom's recording, so that way again we can upload, especially if it's a new lesson to our YouTube channel. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm old school. I'm learning this new stuff.
It's okay, Ms. Brenda. You're trying, and that's what's most important.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I may be able to add that in module 5. So thank you for the suggestion.
Okay.
Geraldine, you unmuted. Did you have a question? And then Mr. George.
Oh, I really didn't have a question, but it's important to update once a month. And how about the software update?
Yeah,
that also.
Okay, so again, you're confusing the terms, Ms. Geraldine. You say you have an iCloud backup and you have a software update or upgrade. Upgrade is once every year. Updates come out once every month or once every 2 months. The backups should be done, and I would say once a month. I use my iPad every day, so I would say about once every 2 weeks because I use it for a lot. But yeah, at least once a month for the backup, and then for the updates, it just depends on when it comes out. So if there's not a set schedule, like 17.1, it took about a
Yeah.
month and some change to come out.
Okay,
When
okay.
2 comes out, it may take a month, it may take 3 weeks, it may take 2 months or so. So
Okay.
it'll when a new update is available, it'll most likely send you a notification, or you'll see a badge on the settings icon where
Oh,
it'll signify that you need to do it.
okay, they'll let me know. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Yes, no problem, Joan. Next up is Mr. George. You can hit unmute at the top.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was checking mine out and I've only used 1 gigabyte out of 5.
Yeah, so that's good. So for now, you don't have to worry about, that dollar or $3 and such, but the more photos and videos and things that you put on your device, you may reach up to that 5 gigabytes, Mr. George. And when that happens, again, it'll say like your iCloud storage is almost full or something. You'll see that underneath your name and settings in some way, shape, or form. And then that way, if you desired, and I recommend that you get at least the dollar plan a month, that 50 gigs. So that way, again, you can easily store and save a copy of that information through iCloud. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, keep doing the backups and keep updating and upgrading your device. All right.
Okay.
I hope that helped out, Mr. George.
All right.
Hey Denise, how's it going?
Hey, oh, good. I
Good.
wanted to ask you a question in the iCloud backup.
Yes.
And, down at the bottom, you'll see advanced data protection. Mine's off. Should it be on?
That's also a good question. That's one of the features of having that iCloud Plus thing. That's if I go to here, I don't personally have it on myself.
Yeah, me.
You see mine's off as well, but you see it says end-to encryption, iCloud types or whatever. So there are certain end-to-end encryption there. It says some sensitive data, like really, really sensitive data, like save passwords and health and maps data. Those are already protected and such. But if you just wanted additional protection for certain things, then you would be able to turn that on through here. I have not explored that because it may affect it says you have to have an account recovery key or contact to be able to do it. So
oh, don't worry about it.
I would say if you had a lot of sensitive information on your iPad, then maybe.
Right.
But when I do this again, I'll see, I'll take a look at the advantages and what may occur with that option. But yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Because I ain't gonna turn it on. And I'll leave it off until we, see what's going on.
Yeah,
but it's probably not that important. But I was just
in a way, like again, if you send a lot of, I guess, personal information, or I wouldn't go through like iMessage or something, like maybe like addresses and certain things, like I would Google it too and see if it's recommended, but I'll also do that research myself. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem, Denise. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any last questions for the day? We're going to end a little early today, so you guys can get a little break before 12 or 11:45, I should say. So again, does anybody have any last questions about the operating system, any backups, iCloud, anything with storage? Again, a backup allows you to copy and save the information from your device. If you need to replace your device, you can use the backup to transfer that information to a new device. So again, a backup, it literally sounds what it is, a backup of your information. So that way, you need to replace your device, you can just simply get that information from there using your Apple ID instead of starting from scratch. So please, everyone, make sure you back up your device and update or upgrade them. So that way you're on 17.1. So as soon as I'm off the Zoom today, I'm going to upgrade my software. Then I go to General, Software Update, and make sure that you complete it so that way you update your device. Gracie, thanks for raising your hand.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
saying about the storage, right? I played like a lot of games, but if I don't want that stored, is it a way I can prevent that going into storage?
Okay, so you're talking about iCloud Plus, right? You're talking
Right.
about the iClouds. Okay, so
Yeah.
yes, so Gracie, so the iCloud backups, they don't contain the actual apps, right? They contain, if I go back here, they contain mostly the data, right? So if you have a games app, it just depends if it's stored in iCloud. So that's a good question. Thanks for mentioning that. I meant to show something off before. So you go to settings on your iPad, you tap on your name, you tap on iCloud, and you notice in the middle it says apps using iCloud, right? So that way, if you show all, I did show this before, but I guess I didn't specifically mention it through this. But yes, you see which ones are on and which ones are off. So you see some of the games I have on here are using iCloud, but some of them are not. So it really just does depend on the app and such. If you're able to save that data and such. So it's going to be a little different for each app. So I wish I could give a definitive answer on that. I've never had that. Well, hopefully we never have to replace our device, right? Like hopefully we keep it forever and it doesn't get stolen or we drop it and it's just no good no more. But it's just good to have this just in case. And these for an app, it's an app. I would be more hurt about the actual losing the device part. If I didn't have any like app data, oh well, I just move on to something else. So
Yeah, some of them take up a lot of space, and I was just saying, that's when I store it. It might. I don't necessarily need the data from playing the games if I lose the iPad. So I was wondering, could you just stop it from storing that, backing up that?
Yeah. So I mean, this game right here, you see it says Wordscapes, right? If I didn't want any Wordscapes data in my iCloud, then I would turn that off. But yeah, it wouldn't really
just
be
turn it off
due to an app, right? Because if I look at my storage right here, you see through iCloud, Gracie, my photos take the most because I have a ton of photos. My messages also takes a lot. And my backups take the third most. Everything else, it's less than 500 megabytes. So it's really not that much. So as you can see, like these games right here, like that I have, they are is nothing. So
yeah, I don't play but 2 or 3. It's just that it looked like it was so many, over 300 or 400 gigabytes. I was saying that, I could save that if I didn't put it in backup,
Yeah. So well, you said so. Let's make sure that we know what each of the, so MB gigabytes are a lot bigger. So if I go to my storage right here, Gracie, as you can see, so there are 1,000 megabytes in 1 gigabyte. Okay. Right. So that's what you see. So anything you see next to megabytes is less than a gig. If it's a gig, then you'll see that it's like, as you can see these right here, like this game right here, this Avatar game, it has the most. And I don't necessarily need it. So I'll be able to download it from here because I actually even haven't played it. I just downloaded. But if I go to like this game right here, Stitch, you see that it says documents and data, right? So that's the iCloud data that's being stored, but not everyone has them. If I go to another one, let's see, you see most of these are very, 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 very small.
Okay.
But some of them don't. Like, let's see, this game, 5 differences. Again, well, this one has only about 100 megabytes of data, and the actual app takes up most of the iPad storage. But again, as you can see, I have so many different applications on here. It's not even funny.
Yeah, you got have half of what you got.
Lots of stuff. And you know, I still have about 15 gigs left on my iPad. But if I wanted to, like this Avatar game, I'm not going to play this, so I'm going to delete it from here. You can also delete it from the actual home screen like normal and such. But yeah, I just deleted it, and you can
Just delete them,
you know,
okay.
yeah, so you can go,
Okay.
yeah, for things that you don't use, like for this game, like this one called Timberman. I haven't played this game in months. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna need it. So I can, but I don't have to. So I mean, that's a luxury, I guess, of having this amount of storage on one device for the actual apps.
Right.
But it's a problem with the iPad. I think that's more important because if you lose your device, you won't have access to none of that stuff in the storage, but you'll have access to the stuff that's an iPad because that is stored over the cloud on the internet. So.
Okay. All right, thank you.
I hope that wasn't too much.
That cleared up what I had in my mind. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just delete some of them. Like you said, I'm not gonna play them so that I can free up that space, you know, just delete them because a lot of them I know I'll never play, you know?
Yeah. So just the main, that's fine. But the main thing is gonna be that iPad. So make sure that if you can complete a backup, you're good to go with that.
Yeah, I got everything updated.
But thanks for the questions. You guys asked such great questions. Keep me on my feet. Thank you, Gracie.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Brenda?
Yeah, I had one more when you were showing the gigabytes and millibytes. So what is a kilobyte? What makes that, you know, you said 1,000 millibytes makes 1 gigabyte. So what is a kilobyte? What is
so it's kilobyte, megabyte, and then gigabyte.
Kilobyte.
So if I go back to my storage real quick, Brenda, if I go back to my storage, there are more, you know, there's like terabyte and, you know, like that.
Terabyte,
but you see, so there's 1,000 megabytes and 1 gigabyte. And if I go down here, you see I get lower and lower and lower. And then when I get down all the way here, there is 1,000 kilobytes in 1 megabyte.
Okay, 1,000 kilobytes in 1 megabyte.
So 1
megabytes in 1 kilobyte. So is it 1,000 gigabytes in 1 terabyte?
That's a good question. That is a good question. Let me look that up. I should know. We literally don't deal with terabytes. Like only like Google servers or like Yahoo servers. Like they need terabytes worth of data, right? Because there's
servers.
Yes, it's this is just for more information. It's funny. Yes, there are 1,000 gigabytes in 1 terabyte. So
terabyte. Okay, right.
We will never reach 1,000 gigs. I you know, there are a few things that I doubt, but even myself, I doubt I will even use 200 or even that. Like I'm only using 60 at this point, and that's with you know 10 years of use and stuff. So but yeah, it's just more, you know, there's 1,000 kilobytes in 1 megabyte, and there are 1,000 megabytes for every 1 gigabyte.
Okay.
Yes. So
and 1,000 gigabytes to make 1 terabyte.
Yes.
Terabyte.
Okay. Yeah.
So servers must have like millions of terabytes. I mean, hold all that, you know, to be a server, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's astronomical because again, wow, let me it's how it says Google has about if I'm reading this right, let me look. Their footprint, basically their footprint, it says seriously, you have a lot of data. Google Well, Google in 2017, it processes over 40,000 searches every second, which means over 3.5 billion searches every day, and about 1.2 trillion searches every year. So Google is used by a lot. And experts have projected that Google will likely store about 10 to 15 exabytes of data.
Oh my goodness.
So for every 1 exabyte, there are 1 million terabytes. So if you can only imagine how big that thing is, it's huge. Because there's so, I'm not saying everybody uses Google, but if you have a computer or a device, you have most likely used Google or have a Google account at some point in your life. So they have to have that much. So they have buildings or probably a whole area code dedicated to that because it's just so big.
Okay.
But that's how much they're a behemoth, you know? They're here to stay. So they gotta have that storage available so that way they can keep everything running. So just now you know, hopefully that helped the others too. It's just you know, just knowing what it means. Like just because it says 956 megabytes, I don't know what the heck that means unless you know you actually like look it up. So hopefully that helps out with just, you know, looking and seeing, oh, that's not so big, or hey, that's a little bigger than usual. So but yeah, so there's kilobytes, megabytes, and gigabytes. Those are the main things that what us as regular folks are going to be utilizing, in our daily lives. So, so yeah.
Okay, all right.
Good question.
And for those servers, it's the exabytes and the terabytes.
Yes, that's all they do. Oh yeah, that's all they deal with. Is the big ones.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, no problem, Brenda. Thanks for your great questions. But yes, we try to do the session about once every month, or at least when the new update comes out. So when you guys see 17.2 come out, you already know that this session is going to be coming out. So you can bring your questions, and you know, we could, you know, when we have a little more time, we can do our screen shares and make sure that, you know, everything is updated and good to go. But yes, make sure you complete your backups. I would take these 30 minutes before our lunch club just to, you know, make sure your backups and your updates are together if you didn't already do so. And yeah, so I hope you guys learned something new. Again, we have our lunch club with the Ronald at 12. We have our module with Zion at 1:30. And we'll have still some learning left to do, but also some fun, okay?
Alex.
Yes, Gracie.
Okay, I know it sounds simple, but I'm on the iCloud backup page. And they said all devices on backup, and I only have the iPad on backup. And it's 887.6 megabytes. So that's all that's backed up, right? The total amount backed up. Yes. Okay, I'm good. Now I really understand what you're saying. Okay, thank you.
No problem. If you hit show all right here, apps using iCloud, Gracie, it'll tell you. Oh wait, oops, sorry. If I go to general and then I tap on iPad storage, if I go to the bottom, you see that my 17.0.3, it takes about 10 gigs. My system data is about 1 gig. And then if I go down here, let me see if I can find backups. No, it will tell you right. Oh yeah, I have to go back to my name. Sorry about that. My name on the left, iCloud, and then iCloud backup. And it tells you how much that backup is about. So my iPhone's about 5, my iPad's about 2. So it's that number sounds good. If you said you have about half of the stuff on your iPad, that sounds about right.
That sounds good. Okay. Just checking, because I'm gonna delete. I'm not paying them the whole lot.
yeah. So just you know, call us or call me or help desk if you have any other questions on that.
Okay.
But those are some good questions.
Yeah, but I'm good.
Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. So yeah, if you need anything regards to your iPad, or if you have any questions about this session, please call our help desk. you know, our 800-6868 number, Monday through Friday. Well, Monday through Wednesday and Friday, sorry about that, from 11 to 2. So any other time besides that, you can call and leave a voicemail and get back to you within our, you know, the best of our ability. But you can also email me, abel@wildtech.org if you have a question, or a help desk. You can also email them, helpdesk@wildtech.org. But yeah, other than that, look forward to starting the lunch club with Mr. Ronald in about 25 minutes. But make sure you guys get yourself situated, like with your updates and your backups and your food and drink and the restroom before we get started, okay? But thanks for coming on to our dance session. On Friday, we'll be talking about how to make your own Zoom account. So someone requested that, so we'll be doing that on Friday, okay? Well, thanks so much for getting on to today's advanced training.
Thanks,
And,
Alex. See you in a
no
little
problem.
bit.
Yes, 11:45. I'll get the Zoom started, all right?
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, have a good day, everyone. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Bye.